And boom, monkeys, we are live. Welcome back to Tacos and Kimchi, man. Episode numero 34. I know we haven't freaking linked up in a while there, Twinksters. How's it going on your end of the freaking world, man? Is it still cold where you reside?
Temperatures swinging pretty hard, man. It's like 70 and then it's going to drop down to 30 something. So, 40 plus degree temperature swing. Yeah, man,
Oh,
you and I've been on different schedules. You're aware of my current nighttime gig. You
yeah,
want to find
yeah,
out, you can subscribe to my OnlyFans.
yeah.
But yeah. No, I'll say, I'm currently a very hands-on consultant for a crypto token blockchain project. More information as I'm able to reveal it, but yeah, that's definitely kept me busy. So I got my normal daytime gig, my own private research, all the things I want to do, and then like generally it's 7-8 a.m. meetings on that project as well as 10ish Eastern meetings. So coming up on another one. So yeah, it's been breakneck over here. How about yourself, man? How are things? I know you've been quite busy yourself with a lot
Dude,
going
yes,
on.
yes, I've been fucking busy, bro. I'm actually training my dogs, bro. I got them correction collars per state.
Yeah. Like I use one myself,
Yeah.
and like just buzz, right? Like I'll like after a certain point, you just got to buzz. Have you ever juiced yourself with it?
No, I haven't fucking dude, I know it hurts, bro. I know it especially if you want to use a boost. They don't like to call it shock collar anymore because they want to be a little
Yeah.
bit more politically correct. But mine's got tone. I got the 280X from Doctor. I think that's what it is, bro.
Yep.
And that motherfricker, it gives you tone, it gives you light, it gives you a vibration or pulse. That's what they like to call it. And then they've got boost, which really means shock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like mine's got a variable, zap setting on it
Yeah.
if and when I need it. But it's got
You heard
vibration and
Twinkie?
same
Have you
thing.
tried it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've juiced myself pretty good. Like, I figured like calibrating it, right? Like I put the electrodes on my skin and I crank it up until I start feeling it. I didn't necessarily go to like, max high overload off the bat. It seems,
Yeah.
stupid. But I was like, oh, okay. So like, if I'm gonna potentially use that on my dog, I want to know how it works and what it's like. And granted, they're a little, they're in a lot of ways, they're a lot tougher than we are, right? Like a lot more resilient. They don't react to things the same way we do. But yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's because they can't talk, Twinkie.
Well, like they just ignore and shake stuff off too, right? Because I'm like, okay, like so. For example, on that, I can get a sensation like, oh, okay, like this is stimulating muscles and whatever else at like 15 or whatever. I can put it on my guy and be like, he won't even acknowledge it exists.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you mean, man. You are right. The dogs are a little bit more resistant and shit like that, man. I'm saying.
Yeah. Sometimes to their own detriment. Anyway, yeah. So what else has been going on with your brother?
No, Jack and shit, Twinkie. Jack and shit, bro. Pretty much the same old shit, bro. It's some intriguing shit you got going with your freaking extra job, your extra occupation you got going, bro.
Yeah. I'll be sure to share some information with the community once I am able. Yeah, more on that as it comes.
Awesome. Shout out to the first moon ganger in the chat, man. Motherfucking smooth brain. Que paso, amigo. We got Fallout Zone, Mr. Steamy Check, BLX in the house, man, and we got
Hey,
Diamond Generate, man. What's going on, gang? How you guys doing, bro?
yeah.
I think
Good to see
Charles
everyone coming out.
right now, bro. If anything, I
Yeah,
think
yeah. I
Charles.
know. Like, I know Charlie's been grinding. Doing the thing that they do between the two of them. They've got to unlock. Also, shout out to the DGen Roundtable guys. I know they've been super busy too, and had the opportunity to catch up with some of those. Let's see, other stuff coming up. I will also be hopping on with RH Max. He and I did a couple of streams on his channel, one on mine, talk about some more AI stuff. I believe next week. I got to go check the schedule. I know he's running a Pulse Chain conference himself, remote conference, and he asked if I'd be interested in hopping on and talk, some AI Pulse Chain stuff. So yeah, for sure, a lot going on. It's a busy year, I think. I know we'll get more into this here shortly with the overall macro perspectives and some of the different tokens and like. I know we were chatting a little bit beforehand. I personally find no reason to think this like altcoin season is really yet to come and numbers go up.
Yeah, freaking. I think that this is probably going to be. I mean, there's nothing's 100%, man. Of
No.
course, none of this is financial advice, but I think this is the last dip, man. This is the last dip before we start running hard, bro. And if we don't start running hard next 60-day cycle, then if the next one doesn't run hard, I'd be really concerned. Like, yeah, dog. it may be time, which kind of leads me to this post from Mr. Mags. And I think I've overheard you talk about this, Swingsters. You did talk about this one time. Check this out, man. It says from Mags, Bitcoin infinite money glitch. Buy Bitcoin 500 days before having, hold and do nothing.
Yep.
Sell 500 days after having, and then repeat. And I think that puts us sometime around July, Twinkie, if I'm correct, man.
Yeah, it's we're in the kind of the overall zones you and I have talked about. Was it last year, maybe 18 months ago? Saying,
Mhm.
okay, like these are some of the historic time patterns. So once we start crossing some of these thresholds, then I'm on high alert. You know, it's not going to happen generally speaking overnight. I think it's much more likely that overnight is to the downside versus the upside. But I think there's more overall opportunity to the upside. What do I
Yeah.
mean by that? I think the stuff that can take us down very quickly is, you know, I've mentioned this to some other folks. Liquid things tend to get liquidated first. And unlike real estate and other asset classes, I can go and sell my crypto 24/7, 365. That's always possible. I don't necessarily need to go through a lawyer. I don't have to get some sort of deed, home sale, mortgage, buyer approved. No, I can just go sell it, and I'll find a buyer for the price. 24/7, 365.
Yeah, man.
Versus upsides, you know, we tend to need more funds and more grinding. So like a black swan event, that would be a major dip down that'll probably happen like that. Whereas everything else is going to take some more time to run up.
I concur, man. I concur, bro. Let's see which way the market pushes, bro. I don't know, Twinkie. I got a gut feeling we'll probably run a little bit more than July, bro. And if it is the tops in July, bro, we've only really got what, May, June, and half of July, dog. 2.5 months, bro, of bull run. That's it. And then we go into the bear. So I think we're gonna push it a little bit more, mind you. People have stated, and I've heard DCC talk about it as well, man. Next 60 days, next Bitcoin halvings is really not gonna mean shit, bro. After this
No.
last one, so it may be that things are changing. Of course, we have to test it to see what the deal is, bro. I mean, take everything with a grain of salt as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know people look at cycles in different contexts, and you know, shout out to guys like Bob Lucas and anyone else talking about 4-year cycles and counting low to low. You can you can count cycles in a few different fashions, and I'm always interested in practical applications. If you overall look at the low to high, it's been getting longer over time. If you look at
Yeah.
it in the context of a 4-year cycle, so part of me wonders, you know, is this maybe the last 4-year cycle? I don't know, and what can change realistically if we don't have any net improvement, if overall liquidity substantially improves in the back half of the year or early next, you know, money printers kick on or something late year, then to me that starts to change some of those times and those curves and the like, to say, okay, it was a 4-year cycle, we're now progressively shifting to a 5, 6, whatever year cycle, and all of a sudden the new all-time highs in 2026, and then everyone can, you know, cash out and do whatever they're going to do next for a period of time. I don't know. I have my own targets and my own strategies, and
It's
if
funny.
certain numbers are hit, if certain numbers are hit, man, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. And it's funny you mentioned that because Charlie hasn't really been alluding to a super cycle, bro, going into 2026. But last time I did a stream with Miguel, he's under the impression that maybe, yes, we may be running into 2026 because, of course, as you mentioned, there'll probably be more liquidity. By that time, our economy should be better. Things should be going better with the current administration and things of that nature, man. So, I mean,
Also midterms,
huh?
right? Like midterms from a political perspective, they're going to want to be full send, ultra hot cooking in the run up to the midterms. Whereas if they blow everything out now and do like everything's awesome now and it's just a downward slide into the midterms, nobody's going to remember.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly, man. Shout out to Alex P, bro. Freaking made it boogie. Twinkie, my favorite viejo sabrosos, my favorite delicious man.
I'm older than I look, but I ain't that old.
Crypto Crossfire, glad I am here. Twinkie, I want to go to Japan, man. I want to go party it up in Japan a little bit. Japan's always had a wild ass fucking shows, bro. Since we're on memes now, let's go ahead and watch this shit. Hopefully this shit doesn't get me banned off fucking YouTube. Fuck it. It is what it is, my friend. Here we go, son. So this is a Japanese game show, bro. Figure it out how it plays out, man. Boom. Here we go.
日本深夜节目推出特别企划，在被风俗小姐手淫的状况下唱卡拉 OK， 如果能拿90分以上的话，就可以得到100万元。在风俗小姐招招生技强势攻击，上下其手，每位挑战者几乎都无法好好唱歌，纷纷弃械投降。这个节目的影片上传到影音网站，引发热烈讨论，甚至还红到欧洲去。全球各地的网友都对岛国的深夜节目佩服不已。而台湾的手游宣传广告也效仿此举，请来最近话题不断的台湾情色教主雪碧和另一名小魔举行一场挂机比赛，随即在路上拉男嘉宾，看谁先让男嘉宾弃械就获胜了。这个比赛实在太诡异，谁先弃械不是重点，重点是看两位辣魔挤眉弄眼、奋力晃奶求生的动作，尺度之大也让网友看了也不禁摇头回应：雪碧怎么不去手淫卡拉 OK 当挑战者大魔？
So Twinkie, what's going on here, bro? As weird as fucking
karaoke
is,
jacking.
They got him singing karaoke, and whoever busts the nut first, bro, ends up fucking losing, dude. You know what I'm saying?
It's got to be the radiation after World War II in that part of the world, right? Like it's a side effect of the bomb. Because like some of the shit that comes out of that part of the world is crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Long story short, I remember I used to live in Japan. We went to Tokyo, bro. We did a training on evolution up in Fuji, bro. Me and my boys, Santiago and Doc Garcia. And Doc Garcia was our corpsman in Santiago. He was another Marine and shit like that, bro. And dude, we were looking for a strip club. We wanted to party it up. So we were asking some of the Japanese locals. They said, "Oh, up there, up there." So we went up this flight of stairs, bro. Went up to these flight of stairs, got to the top, bro. Finally opened up supposedly this door to the strip club, bro. Walk in. I see a guy, bro, with a fucking mouth gag on top of a fucking exercise ball. And this Japanese chick, bro, in like a maid outfit with a whip on her hand. She was like, come in. I'm like, nah, homie, I'm good. I'm good, bro. This is really not my style. BDSM, nah, dog.
And this was like a sex club or like a prostitution
I guess
play,
where
like
men like to get
parlor?
tortured, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, isn't prostitution legal in Japan? I think it is.
It's not. I think they can give hand jobs and shit like that, as long as they don't have like sexual intercourse. I'm assuming that's the way it is over there, bro.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Marines would know, right?
Yeah. I'm sure there's some loopholes or like whatever.
Yeah,
strange place. And it ain't a crime if you don't get caught, I suppose.
Exactly. Since we're already on the topic of fucking weird shit, these high school students got sent to fucking prison so they could check out what the fuck is prison like, bro. Can you see this, Twinkie?
Yeah, I got it.
And they give them an example of what prison life is like. I think this is state, by the way. Here we go. Let's play this bad boy.
Here, hold this. This Kool-Aid. We put this on bitches like you. Lick your lips. Now stick your hand in that Kool-Aid. Just stick it in there. Now take your finger, just do this to the bottom one. Come here. I kiss you, you orange flavor mother.
That's fantastic.
I kiss you, you orange flavored motherfucker. Oh yeah, hey, bro.
That's fantastic. That's great.
And the kid fucking did it, bro. Oh my gosh, dude.
I mean, what else is he gonna do, right? Like, kids don't know better, and they're generally gullible.
Stimmy check equals Okinawa banana show. Ain't no banana show in Okinawa. I have no idea what the fuck you talk about, man. Ain't no banana show over there, bro. If you do, you know the secret place may be in fucking Naha and shit. I wouldn't have that in Camp Hansen. I'm saying, dude. Twinkie, I'm gonna crank up the AC. It is getting hot in this motherfucker, man.
Cool. I'll keep the people entertained.
Yeah, maybe it was that Japanese show, bro. Let me crank up the AC a little bit. I'm saying.
All right, so let's see who we got rolling through chat. Stimmy check, Okinawa. Yeah, I suppose he would know. Scared Straight Crossfire. That's a good question. I thought it was Scared Straight. It might be like a newer version of Scared Straight. Tegan calling out somebody as being the Kool-Aid kid. I won't name and shame here. But we definitely need let's say a wall highlighting the people who are paper-handed and ultra concerned about things. Like Never gamble in a game you can't play.
That is hilarious, man. Is that the name of the
Yeah.
show? Scared Straight?
That was like an old thing, yeah. Scared Straight, I think, where the kids went, like, got taken to jail and met assorted inmates and kind of got some level of exposure to life behind bars, so to speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was Scared Straight was like kind of the OG show.
Yeah, man. I'm sure Mothers of America fucking hopped on the fucking on the TV station for that shit. Like, you better not be doing that child abuse, yada yada yada. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, Twinkie.
Yeah. Boogie, can we acknowledge one of the elephants in the room? I know there's a certain kind of pilot that always causes you a certain level of concern.
Oh, female pilots.
Yes. And like with all the news coming out now about that Black Hawk crash and like, yeah,
dude. She did that shit purposely, bro. Supposedly that the fucking warrant officer advised her, hey, turn. The fuck are you doing, bro? She rammed straight into the fucking airplane, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was a training like research flight, is my understand.
Yeah, dude. And they said there was a shitload of students on that plane, bro, and all other types of important people, bro. What a fucking coincidence, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
That is wild. That is wild, homie. You know what I'm saying? All right, let us move forward to the Bitcoin chart, Twinksters.
Yeah, let's get down to it. So I know you got some quick charts here. I just got a few, like, let me drop a few pieces of background info. Cool. So do you know that BlackRock holds like over 3% currently of the Bitcoin?
Oh, really? Is it 3%?
Yeah. It's currently like 3%. And also, I believe corporate treasuries overall increased by like 100,000 Bitcoin over the span of April. Most of it was, strategy, MicroStrategy, Sailor Moon on that one.
Yeah, I do know that Arizona is about to get their BTC fucking reserve approved, man. Texas is working on theirs, bro. We should be getting ours as well down here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and who's the Commerce Secretary? Lutnick, right? Cantor Fitzgerald Lutnick, I think that's him. Anyway, he was reiterating and stating Bitcoin is a commodity. We got to treat it like gold. So, all in all, I continue to think we're primed for an overall numbers go up side of things. Now, that said, if you don't hold some Bitcoin, I think this cycle has really made people reevaluate it. I held some. In retrospect, I kind of wish I held more and played a later game rotation. It is what it is. I know Sailor was saying on the current trend, BlackRock will be the biggest ETF within the decade.
Well, that would make sense, Twinkie.
I mean, they're just hoovering up everything.
Yeah, and then a bunch of states are going to start buying it up as well, bro. So I think it's an issue of national security already, bro.
Yeah, the arms race is on. Game theory's on.
Yeah, you have to have Bitcoin nowadays, bro. You have to have it, bro. So I think that it's going to grow exponentially. I wonder if there's going to be a retrace, bro, in the bull run of about 85% the way there usually is on Bitcoin. I think the lows on Bitcoin are probably going to go up to 60,000, bro. That's probably going to be the lowest. Maybe if we're lucky, 49, 48, somewhere around there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Charlie was speculating like a 70% retrace.
Yeah.
So kind of, it depends where we end up on that. But yeah, I think there's a decent amount of evidence that like below, granted, strange things can happen, right? If Skynet kicks off or, World War III kicks off, then who knows where all this ends up before the end of the overall 4-year cycle. But
sure, man. And like you stated, Twinkie, I mean, majority of the Bitcoin rise has been on quantitative tightening, man. None of it has really fully tasted quantitative easing, bro. As soon as those rate cuts,
not for this cycle.
Dude, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, not for this cycle. Yeah, the fact that we've had this kind of performance in light of all that, and realistically speaking, when's the next Fed conference? May 7th, I think, is what it is.
Yeah,
it's the 7th, right? So we're just over a week away.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So I think that once that shit once they turn on the faucet, that's it, dog. BTC is gonna run hard, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in the chart because you're the one that brought me onto this shit, onto the M2 money supply. And for some odd reason, I've not been able to get it to work, Twinksters. The one that you issued me.
Yeah, no worries. I'll troubleshoot that later.
Yeah, but you can see right here, man, current Bitcoin value is at about 94,607. And it just seems like we're kind of like oscillating sideways, bouncing on this level of structure right here, dude. EMA ribbon is indicating that, dude, we're way above fucking support. Way above support on fucking EMA ribbon. And you can see it's starting to fan up to the top side as well, dude. If we do end up dumping, that'll probably be Twinksters. I think as soon as Normieville fucking legacy media starts fucking pumping out the numbers that we're not going to get a rate cut as we approach May 7th, bro. About May 4th, 5th, or 6th, bro, we could end up getting a bottom, possibly on the 7th as well. But I think that it's going to be no later than the 7th when we end up getting the dip for the 60-day cycle. So if I put it over here at about May 7th, we're not that far away, Twinkie. If you honestly think about it, that would put us at day 57. Currently, we're at about day 50, bro. So we're really only like about 7 days away. And I think we're probably going to end up getting a bottom. If we do end up getting a little bit of a bottom, we do retrace. We could come down here to this break of structure that I did have at about 90,000 and then get a wick into about 88,000, or possibly come down all the way down into 88,000 and get a little bit of a wick into about 86 or 87. I think that's where we're probably going to end up going, dude, in my opinion.
My range is like around 93,000 to 86,000 if I'm thinking like the overall downward potential pressure.
Yeah.
But if I know you're going to walk us through like your overall TA, but we've had like what, three weeks of green candles
Pretty
on
much.
that. I think we're printing our 4th this week. So it's hard to bet against Bitcoin. And for the record, I'm not, for the audience here, I'm not thinking it's just going to be like a smooth, we're going to Valhalla, never to retrace or come back again. No, we just have fair amount of momentum and quick run up on some of these candles. So with that though comes quick run ups can usually mean quick return trips as well. That's my kind of range is like that 86 to 93 range.
Yeah, that would make sense, because if you look at these two candle fucking tops right here, or the candle bodies, you're at about 86 141, homie, on the weekly. And Bill Williams alligator's turning in upward fashion. Of course, EMA ribbon's going to tell you the same shit. You know what I'm saying? But if we look at the EMA ribbon as an area of support and resistance, dude, if we were to go halfway through the EMA ribbon, it'd put us at about 83. But I think that we're probably going to end up here at about 86 at worst case scenario, unless Black Swan event occurs, bro. But if we go back to the daily and we look at M2 money supply, and you were talking about this before Charlie even mentioned it, bro. Not to say Charlie didn't know about it, by the way, but I mean, you had brought it up.
Yeah, I got receipts.
Yeah. And look at this shit. Of course, we did have, if you look at the M2 money supply, if you look at these two fucking lines right here, Twinkie, let me go ahead and fucking remove our ugly faces and show these cats the full chart. You can see that it was supposed to be a little bit of a double top. Of course, we are not really following that so much, but nevertheless, you can see that we do end up bottoming out, and it has it here on April 30th. Of course, this shit is offset. It is offset. So if Squawk Box on fucking MSNBC, bro, or Fox Business starts talking about we're not going to end up getting rate cuts, that's when we end up dipping. And I think once we do have that FOMC meeting, I do expect Jerome Powell, because he has had a lot of pressure on him, and he can bitch and complain saying, no, Trump's statements don't affect me. I don't care who the fuck you are, bro. If the most powerful man in the world is threatening to fucking fire you, dude, it's going to have an effect on you mentally, whether you like it or not. So I expect him to say, we're not going to give you guys rate cuts, but I am going to give you a rate cut next cycle or next FOMC meeting. And that will probably in turn start pumping the market. And that's probably why you see M2 the way it is right here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the thing here for anyone who's following it is like the data is not fully normalized for anyone who follows this. Basically, yes, the things that I think you can be kind of directionally correct, right? Like, it's like long range shooting. Okay, at a certain point, you want to be able to hit exactly what you're aiming at, regardless of distance. That said, practically speaking, there are some limits that we inevitably run into. So I'm less concerned about the exact amplitude and strength of the movement. I'm more concerned with the general direction, where it's generally going up and to the right. So I think there's some level of validity to that. I want to spend some more time kind of poking around bond markets and credit in the system, and like just to better understand that. I know prior to us hopping on, we were talking about copper potentially as an indicator. So I want to spend some time just like researching this. And so, just kind of going down a few different rabbit holes too, while we haven't been streaming, and just trying to, hit the books and look for some different things, maybe stuff that's other, maybe more TradFi guys know that, I'm just not necessarily plugged into, or maybe things that had less relevance, but now have more relevance for any number of reasons. Okay, like let's just talk copper. What does copper use? Electronics, left, right, and center. What are we potentially doing? Well, we know we need more power to drive more compute. So we need more chips, right? More silicone, more CPUs, more GPUs to power AI, which is going to need electricity, which will need copper and other elements, right? That's just like where my brain's going for some of this stuff. So yeah, I want to spend some time looking at to see if potentially to what extent can I use maybe copper as a preliminary or leading indicator for things like the crypto market. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's absolutely nothing. Maybe it is something. I don't know. I got to spend some time going down the rabbit holes. As far as some other,
probably onto something, Twinkie. And besides, man, speaking of precious metals and shit like that, usually Bitcoin and gold tend to pump in tandem, bro, because people have fucking less faith in the dollar. You know what I'm saying?
and what a crazy, really year and run gold has had.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got one thing. Go ahead on gold.
Yeah. Crypto Crossfire did mention gold is also used in the CPUs. And I do remember fucking, not Michael Saylor, the guy that fucking Richard debated that he lost to, what's his name?
Schiff.
Adam Schiff. He did
Peter Schiff, right? Uncle Peter.
He did state that we do utilize a lot of fucking gold, bro, and a lot of our electronics and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there are some like in actual industrial uses on that. But this quick tangent here, with what happened recently in Spain and Portugal with their power outage, whereas 60 million plus people were without power for quite some time. I wonder if this is just me speculating. I wonder if we're gonna have like an Operation Warp Speed for power grid type stuff here during the Trump administration.
You mean to protect it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's one thing that, dude, I don't know why the fuck they haven't pounced on that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. We'll see. Maybe it's one of those things to come. Let's see here. What do I need on this one? Well, yeah, I could just use your eyes as your guy, as you're somebody who's deeper into TA than I am. Check this out.
Sure. Let me try to bring this up. Is this your chart, Twinkie?
It is.
Okay, cool. What we got here, man?
Oh, wait, let's see. That one's not mine. Let's see.
Oh, that's mine, homie. That is mine. Let me see. Let me remove this one. Stop screen. Let me add yours, Twinksters.
Sure.
There you go.
All right. We got USDT dominance, tether dominance here. And what do you see here, Boogie?
This is a descending triangle, homie. That means that as we approach the end of that triangle, USDT dominance is going to start dumping.
Okay. And so when USDT dominance starts dumping, historically, we generally see a little bit of game on action for, let me do.
Yeah.
BTC, right? You can see that they're basically inversely correlated.
Yep, pretty much. And it's a lot like the DXY, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Same. Yeah. Very, very, very similar. So printing this pattern, yet another thing that's pointing potentially towards some bullish scenarios for crypto and Bitcoin and the majors.
Yeah. So, I mean, once we approach that, man, and USDT dominance starts dumping, bro, or possibly even fucking DXY, dude, you're going to see fucking gold, and you're also going to see fucking Bitcoin start pumping pretty damn hard. You see, Twinkie. Boom.
Yeah, risk on. Yep.
So, yeah, I concur, man. I concur 110%.
Diamond, I just want to acknowledge Diamond's comment here. No cuts until June. So certainly that's what some of the respondents are saying for stuff like FedWatch. What's interesting though is if you look at like future, hey, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Let me just quickly pull this one up. Knocking some rust off here, Boogie.
No, you good. You good, man.
So what we have are future probabilities for this, and you can see at the moment, and your guess is as good as mine as to what extent how much this is going to move. I've been watching this fluctuate for weeks. I saw as high as 40% rate cuts at one moment in time. Now it's down to 7%. So shout out to Agent J. He often says, trying to predict the Fed's move a week before, a month before is a fool's errand. Anyway, right now, 92+% of respondents saying, hey, no rate cut. But what's interesting is you start to see the majority consensus over time moving into we will have at least a few different rate cuts over the span of the year.
Yeah. How many are you estimating we're going to end up getting? I'm
assuming
3 to 4.
5. I'm going to say 3 to 4. I do agree with Diamond Hand that no rate cut will be confirmed for this upcoming meeting in about a week. But what I think will happen is I'm hoping to hear, hey, we have a plan, or we are ending quantitative tightening. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to move immediately to quantitative easing, but some comment about like the balance sheet runoff, and we're going to go from, we're basically done selling off the balance sheet. We're going to hit the pause button, or we're going to start accumulating assets or give us a schedule around that.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to mention, I think it was, what the hell's his name? Johnson, bro, Speaker of the House. He was talking about getting some bills passed in the House in July, bro, and possibly getting the Senate moving around in July as well, bro. People are getting tired of this shit, bro. They want everything to move. They do want their freaking tax cuts, and they also want that fucking no taxes on people under $150,000, bro. Trump's been saying 200,000, but I've heard 150,000. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff is bullish news for the market. Now I get it. Wall Street doesn't like that shit. It makes fucking stock market numbers go down, bro. But Main Street loves it, bro. If you look at majority of people out there, bro, majority of normies, average Joe, that's middle class to the people that are fucking poor, well, or the people that are under considered poverty class here in the United States, bro. They don't have any stocks. They don't have any cryptocurrencies. They don't have any of that. They're living paycheck to paycheck, man, day to day, bro. Whereas the boomers, they fucking hate Trump's ass because he's not focusing on them, bro. He's focusing more on Main Street. The majority of the boomers own majority of the assets. I'm saying,
Yeah. It's crazy to me. I think it's basically the first generation where they've set things up currently in such a fashion that the generations following them have it worse off than they do.
yeah, completely, bro, completely. And like you mentioned, Twinkie, in the next 10 years, bro, 10, 15 years or so, we are going to see a huge amount of freaking boomers pass away, dude. And then you can see a lot of houses go back on the market, bro, for a little bit cheaper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
BlackRock will buy them all.
yeah, exactly, bro. But if we empower Main Street, bro, and people are making a little bit more dinero, we could end up getting another baby boom, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it's cost of living's got to come down, and or people have to believe that there's a path for them, which is going to require multiple changes. But they, at the end of the day, they got to believe there's some level of opportunity en masse.
Yeah, I concur. Twinksters, let us move over to Ethereum. Fucking Ethereum's been looking like a bag of fucking dicks, bro. I actually thought Ethereum was going to dump a little bit more, Twinkie. Can you see the chart here?
Yeah, I can see the chart with the pretty yellow colors.
Check this out, man. Now, I was expecting Ethereum to dump a little bit more. What the fuck do I have my shit at? And I did see a little bit of a fucking symmetrical triangle here, bro. But it didn't pan out that way. It broke to the upside. You can see it right there. It had a little bit of a symmetrical triangle coming down this way. And then you could argue the point that it's somewhat of a bearish pennant. So that would indicate we would dump. But of course, Bitcoin ended up fucking pumping to the fucking moon, even though it had a shitload of fucking resistance, bro. And I was kind of hoping we'd get more buying opportunity. I was actually talking to Sloth, man, and I did draw up this fair value gap here on the weekly. And I told him we're either coming halfway into this fair value gap of about 1408, or we're going to come all the way down to the bottom to a possibly 1296 or in the high 1300s, bro. And I was expecting it to come down here, but no, man, it ended up reversing. The market picked up some dinero here, and then it started running to the upside. Now, this is kind of a little bit weird 60-day cycle, man. Currently, we're at about day numero 50. No, we're at about day number 49. Yeah, 50. We're on day 50, bro. So we're approaching fast the end of the 60-day cycle. So I got to go back. Let's go over here to the weekly. And you can see that there's not a lot of fair value gap options here, man. You maybe have a little bit one here that runs exactly in this area. Let me drop a little box so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, man. Right here in this area. So we could end up running up into here, into this fair value gap. That may be an area that we could look at as possibly fighting our ways back to, man. And that would be for about 2132 to about 2250, give or take, man. So we could possibly go up over there, bro, and then possibly retrace down here. Or we could even use this area of support, Twinksters, from these two candles if we do end up going up that high. You know what I'm saying? So those are all areas we could go into. On the weekly, EMA ribbon is indicating that we're still bearish, man, which is bad news for the altcoins. And of course, as Bitcoin dumps into the 60-day cycle, and as we approach the FOMC meeting, man, Bitcoin's going to have to end up doing a little bit of a correction, bro. That ends up happening. The altcoins are going to go with it. Hence why you still see a little bit of a bearish EMA ribbon here on fucking Ethereum. Bill Williams at Alligator is indicating that, yep, it's still trending downwards, bro, in a downward fashion. So it may be, bro, that we're going to see a little bit more dump in the altcoins. Maybe we do end up catching ETH back here at about 1407. Hopefully we get lucky, bro. We end up catching it here about 1306. Keep your fingers crossed, man, because I am ready to deploy some capital, man. The only token I've been really buying, Twinkie, tell you the truth, man, has mostly been I've been just fucking nibbling on that one Miguel likes, fat.
Yep.
It's not Fat Nigga Chain. It's called something else, man. Fat Boys or something like that. I got it up over here, man. We're gonna talk about that token today.
Yeah.
A Fat Nigga Season. That's what it's called. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the fat token. So like Ethereum, I got a couple of quick ones here. I'll just kind of rip through here. So people like to talk about, is it altcoin season yet? I mean, generally speaking, no. You can see it's Bitcoin season where Bitcoin is going to have most of the strength and momentum. However, if you've got a high conviction play in the altcoin space, something you really believe in, and something that's actually got some good legs behind it because maybe it's narrative driven, or maybe it is legitimately going to be the next hot shit that captures all the attention. Maybe it does something groundbreaking, right? If you're onto something, you're probably not going to see a whole lot better prices unless Bitcoin drops down further. The other thing that jumped out at me is ETH dominance, which is the amount or percentage of the market that ETH is holding relative to everything else. And it looks pretty grim on paper to the point where, at least according to TradingView on this, this particular view, it's at an all-time low for ETH dominance. We're even lower than we were in, July 19, November 19. And then, okay, it started up during COVID times, but you can see it's down bad, right? Like you can actually just kind of look at the tops as this big, long arc that generally curves downward.
Yeah, and that's ETH dominance, right?
Yeah, that's the ETH dominance, not necessarily ETH price. And so how does that work out? Add up all the ETH and the price per ETH for that versus adding up everything else in the market. What percentage of the market is residing in ETH?
Sure. And I'm sure you're aware of it, Twinkie. Vitalik does intend to fucking upgrade ETH, but that's going to take a little bit of more. It's called the Risk V or some shit, right?
Yeah, Risk 5. And so like shout out to Gavin Wood, former Ethereum guy himself who moved with his team Polkadot onto a risk-based architecture quite some time ago.
Yeah.
So like maybe they should have kept Gavin on the team for one reason or another, because clearly he sees something. And it's interesting. Now, partially too, I think I was talking with shout out to Tegan. He and I were swapping some messages in Citadel chat and the like, and some of the other chats, just talking about Ethereum. Vitalik is triple vaxxed and a bug eater. Like them's facts. Go look it up. Like spitting truth on this one. But the issue is, if you look at the Ethereum ecosystem here, and let's kind of fly people through the charts here, you can see the total users on the like unique active addresses is kind of what we're going to use as a proxy. You can see the unique active addresses overall on Ethereum has increased, but this grayish blue at the bottom, that's mainnet, which means since like, late 22, early 23, since this chart was being assembled, all the data points towards almost all the growth is entirely in L2s, right? Your bases, your optimism, your arbitrums and the like.
This is a damn good site, Twinkie.
It's pretty sobering, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so the value is getting trapped up here in the L2s, which is part of the reason Uniswap is creating or has created like their own chain as I don't know if it's I think it's an L2 on that.
Did they already launch?
I believe so. Yeah. Unichain down here. Here we go. Yeah. Right there. And Base too. Base is like fucking up everyone's shit and jacking all sorts of money and fees. Not in a, I can't hate the player, I'll hate the game on that one, but what potentially gets done to bring more value back to the L1s? I'm not convinced Vitalik cares. I think he probably sees Ethereum as more of a public good than anything, or at least conceptualize it. And this is just me, like what I've been trying to piece together out of Ethereum's, Vitalik psychology. One, I think the dude's a great weapons grade autist. So your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, to me, it seems like he most looks at Ethereum as a public good. Do I think value will continue to accrue? Absolutely. Do all your major Wall Street players, are they buying this to lose, or are they buying it because they don't believe it's going to increase in value or at least hold value? Absolutely not. So I'm still holding on to my ETH. I've sold very little of it. If I have sold it, I've rotated some into things I think will run more. My Sonics, my Solanas at the time, other projects that I thought maybe could make me some more gains. But I've still held my core bag of ETH because, love it or hate it, it is thus far, knock on wood, relatively stable in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. It could be as well, Twinksters, that what's going on with fucking ETH is that he's permitting the fucking big corporations to buy up all the fucking ETH, bro, while they shake out all the fucking normies, dude. You know what I'm saying? that or he's being threatened, bro. Like, dude, we don't want crypto to pump, bro. We want it to fucking fail. And they threatened him some way, somehow, man. Hey, we're gonna publish your fucking, I don't know, your doggone fucking, your Furby
nudes.
yeah, fucking porn video that you had at Diddy Island or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, dog, that's why I'm letting fucking ETH dump. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with Miguel. I think it more likely, bro, it's probably the fact that the bigger corporations are buying it up, because I do know Trump does own about 500,000, bro, or 500 million almost, bro, in fucking ETH, 500 million, dude. Then
Well, they took all that liquidity out of Solana earlier in the year after the Trump token pumped and Solana moved, and they brought it over to the Ethereum side of things. If you actually look at the total value locked, Ethereum is number one by way of TVL for chains on this stuff. So again, I don't think it's necessarily going anywhere anytime soon. Also, part of the challenge is it is so big, so entrenched, and so many people are relying on it. I mean, you can see the growth right there in the overall ecosystem. They have to be really careful about the kind of updates and upgrades they roll out. In fact, I know Ethereum, they were saying that they were going to pull out some of the planned upgrades for later this year. For what's that, the Fusaka, I think, upgrade that they had planned later this year or next year. Long story short, there was a lot of hesitancy and unknown or unconfirmed implications and ramifications. And so people said, hey, the consensus was pull this out. So you don't mess around with tens to hundreds of billions of dollars without having something that's, knock on wood, relatively bulletproof. And that works both for and against Ethereum. It's going to be much harder for them to pivot very quickly versus some of these smaller projects. It's going to be much easier for somebody like Sonics or Pulse Chain type projects to make a quicker pivot.
no, I concur, Twinkie. And by the way, I love the camera angle, bro. That shit's gangster, bro.
Yeah. I'm enjoying playing with my toys. I made a few upgrades behind the scenes.
I got another fucking Nikon D750, bro. I'm probably gonna set it up that way too, dude. I just gotta fix my shit over here. I know people are dying to see the other aspect of my armory as well, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe they can see my armory here in the back, bro, and then fucking set up motherfucking fragrances here on the fucking side, dude.
Yeah, you just can't touch it during the live stream and like. But if you actually look at a lot of the like net flows and like, you can see that it's over the past month, it's been a lot of flows coming through Ethereum. To a lesser extent, like the top two are actually Ethereum and Sonic, and then it's kind of everything else.
Really, top two is Ethereum and Sonic.
Yeah. Actually, I'll throw this link in chat here. I know I got a lot of information that we're just kind of blazing through, but this is one of my favorite sites. I periodically look at this every couple of days just to see how money's kind of floating around. So this is Artemis Terminal. I'll throw the link in chat for anyone who wants to kind of eyeball it. I'm more interested in net flows because that's, all the inflows minus all the outflows equals net flows. And so on a 1 month interval, you can see it's Ethereum. Like it's Ethereum and there's everyone else. Then you've got Sonic, and like here are some of the L2s. Those are a bunch of L2s, side chain, and then down here is all kind of. But I can kind of jump around and take a look at like what's it look like on a 7-day window. Same thing. It's Ethereum, Arbitrum, which is an L2, and then here's Sonic, right? And still Solana, interestingly enough, almost across almost every time frame has generally had positive net inflows, be it like 1 year or 3 years, whatever.
Dude, BNB took such a fucking beating, bro.
Yeah. It's Rexville, OP, Optimism mainnet. It's not really happening on a 7-day interval, right? And your top 20 may float around and change over 7 days. But in this case, they've got a bunch of net outflows coming out of Optimism and moving elsewhere.
Boom. Yeah, man.
But yeah, great site. Artemis Terminal. I'll throw this in. It's the flows page.
Yeah, that's some good shit, Twinkie. Definitely share that shit, bro. Since we're talking about all these other tokens, let us talk about a little bit about Solana. See where Solana's heading to, man. All right. Here we go. Let me take away our ugly faces here, Twinkie, so you can see the full chart. Now, this is Solana on the 4-hour chart. And like, Boogie, why the fuck you got it on the 4-hour chart, bro? Because I am seeing a little bit of a bull flag, bro. I'm sure you can see all the red lines right there. It's forming a little bit of a bull flag. Will it end up reversing? Let's go ahead and remove this shit. And let's go over to the daily, bro.
So why would you be interested in the 4-hour instead of the daily? Like, why would you drill down to that level of detail?
Because when you look at a smaller time frame, bro, something like the 4-hour chart, bro, can indicate where you can end up shooting to. Now, remember that one fucking metric that I used one time, Twinkie? Not metric, but let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. And this is why I'm fucking around with a 4-hour chart. Now, the bottom, if this is a flagpole, even though it's a 4-hour chart, doesn't mean that it's invalidated. I could bring it up over here depending where it launches, and that can show you exactly where we're heading to. Know what I mean, Jellybean? So,
Yes,
depending
sir.
where we break out, of course. Now, if we do end up coming down lower, then we would probably end up being lower if I take this flagpole and I utilize this bear flag. Then I would go over to the daily, bro, and then I would see if there's any level of structure there, man. Any fair value gap that I could find, or supply zone, demand zone. Know what I mean, Jellybean?
Yeah. So what's interesting here is just kind of like eyeballing your chart. Is I came to some similar conclusions, albeit through a different mechanism.
Sure.
Just kind of looking at some trends. Like I don't want to jack your screen, but the range I
Let's do it.
had.
Let's do it. Show it to me, man.
Yeah. I just went keep it simple for some of this stuff here. Let me pull up my Solana chart. And let's see, I got, MACD and RSI down here. I've been really trying to simplify aspects of TA because, like, going back to what we were talking about off camera, I've been, like outrageously busy the last several weeks. So it's like, what's the minimum effective dose on some of this stuff? So what I've been doing is looking at certain things here and just like, let me draw a quick trend line. Okay, breaking this trend line through the here in the RSI probably means like number go up. And I said, I scribbled this and we bounced off this kind of 115 area as an overall area of support. And so what I have here for my box is like 135 to we'll call it like 162, 165. And I'm just looking at different tops and bottoms and just like skimming through. I've also been increasingly a fan of just like using a 3-day as an intermediary between the daily and weekly. So
remember when Hex was utilized a lot with that, man?
Yeah. Certainly find it, I've found it useful on that one. But yeah, it's just interesting to see like you and I coming to a similar rough range consensus. And you can see right now with this slight pullback, it's sitting at roughly the mid zone of the box I had drawn.
Yeah, and that's in the daily. So if I bring it up to the daily, and the badass thing about fair value gaps and shit like that, Twingsters, let me see if I can pull up my fucking chart again. You could, I'm not professing to be a fucking badass, bro, at TA. I think I'm decent, dude. But if you figure out all the order blocks, fair value gaps, it can give you a somewhat indicating zone of which way we could go. So now let's go over to the weekly and take off all my pretty fucking little drawings here. And you could see that there is a clear fair value gap in this area here from 186 to about 179, which is not that big of a fucking separation. 179 to about 186. That may be a zone we could end up going to. So if we go back to the daily, turn on my pretty little fucking drawings. So 186 to about 178 is this fucking break of structure all the way to the end of this fucking fair value gap. So it may be that we'll run all the way up north, all the way up top, bro. But remember, Bitcoin still has to correct itself, man. So which day are we on Solana 20-day cycle? Currently, it seems that we're at about day numero 9. We're currently working on the current candle for the daily, and it may be that we'll reverse sometime soon. Now, usually in around day 14 to about day 21, which would put us around May 5 de Mayo, all the way to about May 12th, those may be the days, bro, where Solana ends up fucking bottoming. So it still may have a little bit of time to run, and then it'll end up retracing along with Bitcoin and all the other fucking altcoins along with that. You know what I'm saying? Bill Williams Alligator, along with the fractals, is indicating that the mouth is open, man, which means that Solana should be reversing sometime soon, bro. Even though Bitcoin seems like it's just oscillating sideways, it may be that we reverse the top side with Solana while Bitcoin starts to fall, bro, and then we'll end up retracing into our 20-day cycle, bro, if anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And love it or hate it, the market's still very much coupled to Bitcoin. So as Bitcoin goes, so too does the rest of the market tend to go.
I concur, man.
It's interesting here as far as Solana, because I'll just kind of quickly flash this one up. At the end of the day, if you're not really outpacing Bitcoin, why are you holding it? Right. And it's either because it has what you're holding is outpacing Bitcoin, or you believe it will. Right. I think that's really what it comes down to, especially this cycle.
Let's see. Boom.
So this is the SOL BTC ratio. So if you look at, roughly speaking, since December 2022, when we bottomed out, overall, Solana has gained a fair amount of strength versus Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's reversed a little bit the last several weeks as Bitcoin has just held up better. Now, I believe, we're above the 20-week moving average currently for Bitcoin. So you've seen a little bit of a performance in Sol the last few weeks, still chopping around a little bit over here. But thus far for this run, it's been hard to really say anything overall negative from a price appreciation perspective for Sol, especially if you got in anywhere between, really late 22 to hell, even almost end of 23.
Dude, Sol was doing fabulous, bro, till Melania got into this shit, bro. I'm saying?
Yeah. And then of course, like there was the whole like ultra extractive value of a pump fund, overall.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
But it brought a lot of people in, man. Like, hopefully people didn't get too disheartened if they took an L, but it brought a lot of people in.
No, yeah, I concur, man. And speaking of fucking pump.fun, bro, you could see we're going over to, where is that one token? Fat. Let's go to Fat End Season. And you could see, man, that this is also a pump.fun token. You can see it on their fucking address right there. But currently, market cap on this bad boy, bro, is 8.4 million, man. A couple days ago, bro, it was at 7.4. And then it went all the way up to 11 when it hits top, bro. Now, I have been measuring the cycles on this, bro. Of course, the consistency that I have found, bro, is that it is running on 20-day cycles, man. And right now, we're at about day numero 14. Well, we're going into day 15. We do have 1, 2, 3 points of contact. I wonder if we're going to end up breaking from here or reversing to the top side, bro. Now, I did mention last stream that I did, bro, that I did expect freaking Fat to come down here into this fair value gap. We did come into it right here, bro. And it seems that we may continue in a downward fashion. If we do end up continuing dumping, bro, it wouldn't surprise me, Twinkie. We get into this fucking little block right here, bro, of about 46% of a penny to about maybe 48% of a penny. But nevertheless, bro, I think this token's still going to do well. I didn't know, bro, that freaking Joe Rogan mentioned it on his podcast, bro. I had no idea they did that, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, so they're using a lot of AI generated content and they're doing a great job at it because it's pretty hilarious and, right lifestyle, right vibe, attention economy and what have you. I wish I probably should have, like, in retrospect, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I was riding with DCC, Fast Abdul, Kareem. I'm probably drawing a blank on somebody else who was with us. Oh, Z was with us, Zenith. And Miguel showed me this, like, back at, was it Pulse? Yeah, Pulse 369. And, should have aped because that was like what, early March? Yeah, early March. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
He talked about this token.
Yeah. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yeah. Like this was like early March. He's like, "Hey, Twinkie, check this out. You're gonna laugh your ass off." And it was freaking funny, right? Like I should have aped.
When he told you that.
Oh my god. Let me pull that up real quick.
It must have been like a 3 million market cap or some shit, bro. I'm saying
I'll give you an exact number here, because like roughly speaking for market cap on that, because it's a pump fund token. Yeah, it was probably around 250,000 market cap.
Damn, homie.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's not too late on this one, bro. The only thing that I find a negative on this one, dude, their marketing's amazing, bro. The only thing that I find a huge negative on this, bro, it managed to hit 11 million market cap. Colin and Top Hat, bro, they were at 8 million. They're already listed on CoinGecko, but because it's got the fat nigga season, bro, the NIGGA, that's probably why they're not.
It's a DEX only token, right? Like it's going to be a DEX only token with that. Here's the other thing too, is like I've become increasingly interested in this stuff, and I've done a lot of math on how radium actually works in the pools. And hell, I'll probably that might be an interesting stream. It's like super nerdy and mathematical. Long story short, here is what I've found is most of the tokens that have ripped really hard so far, for what I've been looking at for like meme season tokens, their liquidity is somewhere between 2 and 10% as far as liquidity to market cap ratio.
Really?
Yeah. So like that one's sitting, because I eyeballed that off stream, that one's sitting like right around 6%.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like that might be a little hot tip for anyone like who's scouting stuff and thinks like, hey, like, do I think this has really pumpability? Well, take a look at the liquidity, divide that by the market cap, and for most meme tokens, the market cap is going to be the same as the fully diluted value. And if it's somewhere between 2 to 10%, it's probably highly pumpable. Now that's great if you get in early enough, you can catch that ride up. It may give you some challenges on the way out.
Well,
So make sure you take profits on the way up.
Yes, I concur 110%. Now I ran a little bit of a fucking trend-based fib extension, bro. It's got, I mean, of course, dude, this is fucking moon math here, bro. Talking about 12 cents possibilities, bro. Maybe 7 cents. More than likely, I think we'll probably top out at about 4 cents. You know what I'm saying? That's not outside of the realm of possibilities, Twinkie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, like with stuff like that, that's again relatively comparatively percentage-wise thin liquidity. It's very pumpable. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't think that has stopped at all. If anyone's looking to DCA in, certainly you want to try to catch it on some dips, especially if maybe BTC looks like it's going to head down to that mid 80,000s range.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't show. It was you and me, bro. I didn't show people the chart. Let me show them the chart. So what I did, I grabbed this trend-based fib extension. Did you see that, Twinkie? Or
yeah, I did for a little bit earlier. Yes.
Yeah. So did I show it to everybody?
Let's see. I was like toggling some tabs in the background. I don't think they got the full Boogie experience presentation on Fat.
Let's see. So come up here and bring it down this way. There you go, bro. Possibilities of about, now it's showing 14 cents. Of course, I'm doing this on the fly. I was a little bit more measured. I think we're at about 12 cents, give or take. As possibilities, no, Boogie's not telling you we're going to 12 cents, bro. I'm just saying that's within the realm of possibilities. I think it's very possible to go from 4 to 6 cents, dude. You know what I'm saying? You're muted, Twinkie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, with that relatively thin liquidity, all it takes is one whale, one big buyer to come in, and they can push that price chart up.
Yeah, and it did come out in the Joe Rogan podcast, so I definitely, dude, that's definitely something I can be pushing.
Yeah, and they got like video. It could very well be pure AI, but like Burt Kreischer's in there, Snoop Dogg, and some other folks.
Yeah. I wonder if the actors are real though, man. I know that a lot of the shit they have in the background, bro. Like they did one where they're in space. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. You know what I'm saying?
So a couple different things there is, I mean, the AI tools are getting so good. You can just, especially with public figures like Burt and Snoop and other folks, it's relatively easy to clip and incorporate them into the videos. It's getting to that point, man, where it's going to be borderline impossible to tell.
Yeah, man. So since we're already on the topic of about fucking fat N season, bro, those guys are all Gucci'd out, bro.
Yeah,
hey, man. Office.
Yeah, what are you rocking today? Drakkar Noir?
Dude, I haven't smelled that fragrance in a long ass time, bro. This is Office, bro. If you go to fragrance.one, you can get it. You can get this bad boy, man. Smells beautiful, bro. Great for the office, hence the name. This is one of Jeremy Fragrance's lines, bro. Very good. Very expensive, man, but he's always running discounts. You just got to keep your eyes open on the discount. What's the next holiday coming up, Twinkie? Probably Mother's Day, I'm assuming. No, yeah. Cinco de Mayo, but I don't think they celebrate Cinco de Mayo up in Poland and fucking Germany and shit. So I would say Mother's Day.
Yeah. Is that an international thing? Is that a US only thing? I don't know. Buy it because you need it, buy it because you want it. Buy it because you can.
He usually gives like 50% discounts, man. This one's pretty good, bro. This one's pretty damn good, bro. I think. I like it a lot. I got a lot of compliments of this one, bro. Pretty simple fucking design, bro. Very green fragrance, but very nice, man. So there you guys go. Fragrance of the day, man. Let us move forward with some Sonics. I know you monkeys want to know which way Sonic's going, bro. Now, Twinkie, before we move to Sonic, man, Spooky Swap, aren't they supposed to get a huge fucking airdrop, bro? From the Sonic people?
Supposedly, because they were one of the OGs of the last cycle. I know DCC and Charlie were talking about this on one of their recent streams. I think it was Moon Gang earlier this week. I think is what it was. Long story short, his word on the street is like some of the spooky development firepower left the project and moved on to other projects within Sonic ecosystem. So they've lost some of their heavy hitter, big brains behind the scenes. That said, they've still got a lot of value locked up over there, and they still got a big name. They should get some solid chunk of the airdrop. I think DCC was speculating that they'll take some of that airdrop money and make some upgrades. But right now, it's really hard to bet against opportunities like Shadow, like Metro, and just other things in the Sonic ecosystem. And I think we're the coolest stuff we haven't even seen yet.
Yeah. And we're not going to brush too much through the boot chart. Now, monkeys, if you guys are in the dark room, your eyes are going to get blown out because I'm going to go to cointrader.pro, bro. The only fucking color is white. You know what I'm saying? So get ready to get your fucking pupils fucking blown up. Here we go. So this is the current value of fucking Boo, bro. Boo is at about 22 cents right now, dog. Great fucking price. Amazing price, bro. But will they do better? I mean, you still can't negate the fact that they're probably going to be one of the biggest recipients of that fucking Sonic airdrop, bro, next to Shadow and shit like that. It's probably going to be Beats, Spooky Swap, then Shadow, I think, bro, of the guys that are going to end up getting the Spooky Swap fucking airdrop. Of course, EMA Ribbon is indicating that we're bearish, bro. Dude, I think that's the lowest we've ever gotten to, bro. Bollinger Band is indicating we could go down to about 20 cents, bro. But this is a little bit of a scratcher right now, bro, because we don't know if it's going to end up doing well or not, man. Here a rumor of a whale dumping his 100K of X33 back. Oh,
Oof.
dog. Oof. Ouch, 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 son. Wow, Tegan. Hope not, man. Hope not, dog. I mean, all projects have to get tested at one point in time, bro. And the question is, will it be able to fucking survive if that does happen to it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Realistically speaking, yeah. At some point in time, you got to survive a 90% drawdown.
Yeah, yeah. Going over to fucking Sonic. Sonic has kind of been oscillating sideways a little bit. Yeah, we dumped a little bit. We came back up, came back down. But what I am noticing, bro, in this pattern here is that, okay, we came down, came back up, came back down, came back up, and it seems like we're gradually start climbing up that way, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, this is not really the way I expect the market to go, bro, but this is what I'm noticing as far as the fucking pattern goes, dude. Sonic's current value is at about 51 cents. 60-day cycle on Sonic, we're at about day number 21, bro. So I'm assuming as we go into day 30, we should have a mid-cycle dump, which is usually the case. Areas we could go to, man, easy, bro. I think we could possibly come down here to about 45 cents, bro. Will we retrace back down to 38? It's going to be difficult for it to do that, but I think it's well within the realm of possibilities. Possibly 42 cents, bro, to this change of character we do have over here. We also have a lot of support over here at about 47 cents, man. So anything below, bro, anything below about 46 cents, bro, 47 cents, this break of structure, I think is a great area to get some Sonic. Bill Williams trailing stops. Last fucking fractal we did get was to the bottom side. Let's see if it's below the green line on the alligator, and it's above, man. Alligator is kind of like somewhat oscillating sideways, bro. You can see it kind of wants to go back up and starts continue oscillating sideways. I would wait to see which way fucking Sonic goes on this bad boy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm personally DCAing into Sonic, and what I've been doing is I've left a good chunk of my stables parked on Sonic. So I'm participating in certain stable staking in LPs between stables to stables, just to keep the money moving, so to speak. And then I just periodically pull out of that pool and DCA into Sonic.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea going about it, Twinkie. EMA Ribbon is indicating that we're still bearish, but nevertheless, bro, we're still using the red lines as support. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that the EMA Ribbon is starting to close up, so it may mean we start running to the upside, bro. If there is a dip on this, man, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get some. I remember, bro, when Phantom was at about 16 cents. The way people feel about Boo right now, Twinkie, is the same way we felt about fucking Phantom when it got down to 16 cents when it had its multi-chain problems. Remember that?
Yeah. Basically, they got decimated. I do think like Boo is going to have some challenges to climb up on the overall ecosystem. I think they'll get levered up by overall performance of Sonic. I'm a big believer in Sonic. I think it's what most of us want crypto to be, by way of overall performance, by way of owning your digital assets on the chain. And I would think from a business perspective, the whole fee monetization back to the protocol or application is going to be very lucrative for the chain.
Yeah. I haven't heard a lot about fucking Silver Swap, Twinkie.
Silver Swap. What did they used to be? Spirit Swap, I think, is what they were.
Spirit, bro. And I think they fucked up with that fucking name, bro. Silver Swap. I don't like it, dude. Not marketable at all, bro.
It got sold and it got sold again and like resold and something. Like I know Navigator used to be Mummy Finance. That's been a great pool for me. Like
really?
Yeah. Shout out to Tegan. He and I swapped a lot of messages just about like as we call it, like abusing concentrated liquidity on the weekends. If you're relatively nearby your PC, you can go for those 2%, 1% bands and like swing for the fences. You got to be on it though, because it's like you're gonna get pushed out of range and you got to quickly recalibrate and re-inject.
Yeah, man, you got to be on top of that shit, bro.
Yeah, but too, if you got like a relatively stable pool, instead of going like full spectrum, you can go a relatively tight band and use far less of your money in play. Like I can potentially, do I need to put like, just to make quick round numbers, what if I could get like, maybe I got to put $10,000 into a wide range pool, but I only got to put $1,000 into a narrow band pool, and it tends to spend most of its time chopping around here. So I've got 1/10 of the exposure for the same output. Why not do it? As long as you're paying attention.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you can keep your fucking eyes on it, dude, do it, Twinksters. Especially you can repopulate and cultivate your fucking bags. That's where it's at, son.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I can't wait till we're financially free so we can fucking do that, bro.
Yeah,
dude,
either that or we're fighting Skynet. It's the only way it's going down.
Yeah, man. As we approach the bear run, bro, I intend to swing trade Ethereum like a motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Utilizing the 60-day cycles, bro. I need some practice, so I'm gonna fucking do it as soon as we hit the bear run. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna want to see what's going on with like just how the cycles evolve. At that point in time, maybe it's who knows, man.
Yeah. Metro. I do know a lot of people are crazy about fucking Metro. I do know that fucking. I was talking to fucking what's his face, Sloth, man. He was talking a lot about Metro, man. Metro's another good one, bro. If you don't have too many options on fucking on doggone Shadow. Right now, there's not too many great pools on Shadow unless you're dealing with the USDC Sonic bags, if anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Let's see what else we got here. I'm a little pressed for time tonight. Boogie, can we hop over to Hex?
Let us do it, my friend.
Appreciate that.
And we are currently on Hex, man. Value of Hex right now, bro. We are at approximately 59% of a penny. Great fucking value. We're approaching that mid-cycle dip, bro. We're actually on day 30, man. I'm assuming we'll probably come halfway into this fair value gap before we start pumping to the upside. Halfway, this fair value gap could be about 46% of a penny, man. Will we come down to the demand zone? I would start DCAing as soon as we touch this box over here at about 50% of a penny. If you were to drop about $100 on Hex, $100 on Hex, you're talking about getting 16,000 tokens, give or take, ballpark. 60-day cycle, we go into day 45, would probably put us here at about May 15th, give or take, bro. EMA ribbon, I'm sure you guys can tell, man. It's bearish. You got the red to the top side, blue to the bottom. Let's see if it looks the same way on the weekly, man. And that looks like a convoluted fucking chart, bro. It's still bearish, as you can see right there. Returning back to the daily, man, let's check and see how it looks on the Bollinger Bands, bro. See, because Bollinger Band sometimes gives you an area at the second standard deviation where we could end up stopping at. And as per Bollinger Bands, bro, second standard deviation would be 54% of a penny, give or take. So that may be a good area to DCA into some tokens right there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Friendly reminder, like if you're not thinking in terms of T shares, for the viewers, I encourage you to do so. So Boogie just outlined for $100, you get just shy of 17,000. To put it in perspective, T shares are around a little over 41,000 odd tokens right now, which works out to about what, like $250, give or take?
Yeah.
For a T share right now.
Yeah.
So worth grabbing some T shares or starting to build out to get to those T shares if you haven't already done so.
Yeah, so there you go, monkeys. There you go. That pretty much covers it, Twinksters. I know you're on a timeline and shit like that, bro.
Yeah, I gotta go run to that project thing. But hey man, it's good singing up with you. I guess we'll get back in the swing of things, groove of things. Got some more information coming about that project and some other stuff. Also too, aside from catching me on Boogie's stream or other things, I will be on RH Max's channel or whatever he spins up.
What day, Twinkie?
For the Pulse Chain Conference. Currently, our panel is scheduled for Tuesday. Was it Tuesday the 6th? So that'll be a week from tonight at 5 p.m. What time am I on? 5:15 p.m. Eastern.
Good to go. Got it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be in Vegas for that, are you, Twinkie?
No. I'm tackling that one remotely. But if you're a Pulse Chain fan, a Richard Hart fan, RH Max fan, fan of myself, or you just want to learn more about the overall ecosystem and chain and what they've got going on with things like pump tires, the infrastructure, legal assessment by people like Nuclear Herbs, who's actually, a lawyer proper, and Zenith, our friend over at the DGen Roundtable, to different like bull analytics, incentive token. If you really want to get educated on all that stuff, tune in to the conference RH Max is putting on and really driving. I've retweeted a few things. Again, I'm on that panel 5:15 Eastern next Tuesday. That's Tuesday, May 6th.
Rods that. Tanksters, rods that. All right, monkeys. Twinkie, where can they find you at?
At Mr. Angry Twinkie, just about anywhere and everywhere. If you punch it in, you will find me. Certainly Twitter is a great spot to find me. Telegram, and to a lesser extent YouTube, most often on Boogie's channel when we're running this, but Twitter and Telegram are definitely the best ways to get a hold of me. How about yourself, Boogie?
Yeah, I mean here, Twinkie. You can find me here at US_Crypto_Boogie on Instagram. On Rumble, it's just Crypto_Boogie. Twitter is US_Crypto_Boogie. If you look at the links at the bottom, you got the links to all my channels, bro. I also have Mr. Angry Twinkie's links at the bottom. Monkeys, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you, monkeys, on the flip side.